Okay, let's clear things up. As early as the beginning of the year, everyone was excited about the huge chance that XRP would reach $10,000. Also, guess what? That guess has just become much more accurate. Larry Frink from Blackrock is officially supporting this. Think about this. There's more to it than just $10,000 per XRP. Of course not. He's making it sound like a basic need. Hello everyone at Moneyside. Welcome back to the place where you can find everything about XRP. Before we get into the meat of today's post, let's quickly catch up. Please do me a small favor, tap the like button, subscribe, and bell button to become a part of our wonderful group. Also, here's a heads up. As we get closer to 60,000 subscribers, we're getting ready for a huge XRP gift. It's really easy to enter the giveaway. Just do these 3 easy things. So be ready and tuned in. Also, don't forget to leave a hashtag Moneyside in the comments to make sure you get the prize. This is where it gets juicy. Imagine that big names in finance like BlackRock and Vanguard are now seriously thinking about using XRP for their foreign deals. Don't worry, things will get better. There have been rumors that BlackRock will release an ETF that focuses on XRP. You did hear that right. There's more though. That was not all Larry Frink did. He is looking at the huge real estate market, which is worth $30 trillion. And can you guess what its future is all about? That's it. The XRP system is ready to turn everything into tokens. The International Swaps and Traders Association, ISDA, has given a huge $1.2 quadrillion that will run through the XRP ledger and ripple it. There's more to it than just $10,000 per XRP. That's how kids play. The value of each XRP could go through the roof, reaching as much as $60,000. Wow, that's really cool. Let us now move on to the next part. Another surprise was dropped by Larry Frink from Blackrock. There's more to him than just talking. The cryptocurrency Ripple, XRP, is about to become a part of something very big, making everything a token, and the next part of our movie has a clip that will get people's attention. BlackRock's move toward an XRP ETF was confirmed by Larry Frink himself. Let's not wait any longer. Feel free to watch this clip now. The rise of Bitcoin ETFs is one way that we're legitimizing it. We're making things safer. Are you going to do another ETF? What about an XRP ETF? I know you have Ether out there. What about XRP? Could you answer that? I can't. You don't want me to? Sure, I'm afraid I can't. Okay, they're making fun of me. Thanks. We've seen a lot of strange things happen in the crypto world lately, especially with XRP. Think about this. XRP's value went through the roof and reached an amazing $43,000 on the famous exchange crypto.com. This isn't a one-time thing. This is part of a rising trend of XRP's value going up without warning. Remember last week when we talked about a 7,000 XRP bug at a major exchange? Now it's crypto.com's turn, and it looks like these sudden price jumps for XRP are happening all the time on different markets. Moving on to something else though. Something else I learned from doing a lot of study that is just as interesting but has nothing to do with BlackRock or the general XRP market surge. We're going to talk about Gary Gendler, the famous SEC head who took over for Jake Clinton. Gendler always labels XRP as a security, which most of you may already know. This is where it gets interesting. Robert M. Gensler is Gary Gensler's identical twin brother. They are the same age and look a lot alike. As vice president of Troll Price, Robert is a very important person there. You'll find that Troll Price isn't just any investment company if you look a little further. It is one of the biggest companies putting a lot of money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and yes, XRP. So there's an interesting link here. Gary Gendler, who is in charge of the SEC, keeps calling XRP a security. However, his twin brother is very involved with an investment company that has a lot of money invested in XRP and other cryptocurrencies. It's an interesting contrast that makes me wonder about the complicated dynamics at play in the world of cryptocurrency investments and laws. Now we come to an exciting option. If you compare XRP to Bitcoin and Ethereum, does Robert Gendler, the vice president of T-Rice, know anything that no one else does? When you think about how much the company has invested in these 3 cryptocurrencies, this idea starts to make sense. In public, the SEC says there is no such thing as insider trading, but many stories and investigations have shown that there is. These investigations into market manipulation and insider trading have regularly shown that the SEC is doing things that aren't right. It looks like a pattern is starting to form. It looks like SEC employees are telling their friends and family about which digital assets might soon no longer be considered stocks. Then these family members and friends invest early, and when the asset is officially labeled non-security, its value goes through the roof. This lets them make a lot of money by buying low and selling high. In this situation, let's think about the chance that Robert N. Gendler got inside information from his brother Gary Gendler about how the SEC might lose a case against XRP. This kind of information could mean that Congress wants to settle the case between Ripple Labs and the SEC. This is a great time for smart buyers to buy XRP. But seeing the TRO price send more money into Bitcoin, Ethereum, and especially XRP adds another layer to this story. The cryptocurrency community is talking a lot about how XRP could hit unbelievable highs like $10,000, $20,000, or even $60,000. Analysts who have been bullish on XRP, like Jack the Rippler, think its value will skyrocket and could even go over $589. Even though this prediction is very bold, it shows how much people are interested in and guessing about XRP and its possibilities in the cryptocurrency market. Wall Street wants a piece of the XRP pie because it's so profitable. I also think that an XRP ETF will be the first big play. But let's look into this event more deeply than just the surface. Crypto Basic has given us some interesting news. A financial expert says that JP Morgan has made a big move into XRP. This has caught the attention of someone who used to run Ripple. This news sure made me raise an eyebrow, and we need to talk about it. This is how the story goes. Ben Armstrong, who used to work for the BitBoy crypto brand, brought up some controversial comments about JP Morgan's alleged investment in XRP, which made a former Ripple director respond. Armstrong, who is well known in the crypto sphere, wrote a series of posts about this. He says that JP Morgan has bought a huge amount of XRP tokens, 7.5 million of them. Armstrong then says that this move is worth about 7.5% of all of JP Morgan's wealth. But wait, this math doesn't make sense at all. To give you an idea of how much 7.5 million XRP is worth now, 4.46 million doesn't even come close to 7.5% of JP Morgan's wealth. Armstrong's math doesn't quite work out when you consider that JP Morgan's overall assets are a huge $3.89 trillion as of 2023. Even so, Armstrong stresses how important it is that JP Morgan is supposedly stockpiling XRP as part of a plan. His opinion is that this makes JP Morgan an up-and-coming Bitcoin powerhouse. So we have a story about how big Wall Street banks like JP Morgan might be getting involved with cryptocurrencies, especially XRP. Also, the math may not be very good, but the thought of big banks getting into crypto is something that shouldn't be ignored. It's part of a bigger trend where traditional banking and digital currencies are coming together, and XRP is at the center of some very interesting changes. Armstrong's strong words have also brought attention to Blackrock, the giant of asset management. His claims that Blackrock is now interested in XRP for its investment holdings come after the approval of its iShares Bitcoin ETF. That was not the end of Armstrong. He is also paying close attention to the current legal battle between Ripple and the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. What he thinks? These huge financial companies are investing in XRP, even though the court case is still going on. This shows that they have faith in XRP's bright future.